Beyond the Ziggurats' life in the Sumerian Empire. The Sumerian civilization was one of the earliest civilizations in human history, dating back to around 4500 BCE. The Sumerian Empire was located in the southern part of Mesopotamia, in what is now modern-day Iraq. The empire was known for its advanced technology, including irrigation systems, writing, and mathematics. The Sumerians also developed complex social and political structures, with a hierarchy of priests, kings, and commoners. Beyond the Ziggurats, life in the Sumerian Empire. The Sumerian Empire was known for its impressive architecture, including the famous Ziggurats, which were massive stepped pyramids used for religious purposes. However, life in the Sumerian Empire was much more than just impressive buildings. The Sumerians developed a complex society with a range of different classes, from the ruling elite to the commoners who did the hard work. Social structure. The social structure of the Sumerian Empire was divided into three main classes: the ruling elite, the commoners, and the slaves. At the top of the social hierarchy were the priests and kings, who were considered to have divine authority. The priests were responsible for maintaining the empire's religious beliefs and practices, while the kings held political power and controlled the empire's armies. Below the ruling elite were the commoners, who made up the majority of the population. Commoners were divided into different groups based on their professions, such as farmers, artisans, and merchants. They were responsible for providing food and goods for the ruling elite and supporting the economy of the empire. At the bottom of the social hierarchy were the slaves, who were often captured in wars or born into slavery. Slaves were considered property and had no rights or freedoms. They were forced to work for their owners and were often treated cruelly. Economy. The economy of the Sumerian Empire was based on agriculture, with farmers growing crops such as barley, wheat, and dates. The empire had a complex system of irrigation canals that allowed farmers to grow crops in areas that would otherwise be unsuitable for agriculture. This allowed the empire to support a large population and develop a thriving economy. In addition to agriculture, the Sumerian Empire was also known for its manufacturing and trade. Artisans produced goods such as pottery, textiles, and metalwork, which were traded throughout the empire and beyond. The Sumerians were also skilled traders and merchants, with trade routes extending as far as India and the Mediterranean. Religion. Religion played a central role in the Sumerian Empire, with a complex pantheon of gods and goddesses worshipped by the people. The Ziggurats, which were often located at the center of cities, were considered to be the dwelling places of the gods. Priests were responsible for maintaining the temples and performing religious ceremonies, which included offerings of food and drink to the gods. The Sumerians believed that the gods controlled all aspects of life, including the weather, fertility, and prosperity of the empire. They believed that it was important to maintain good relationships with the gods in order to ensure the success and prosperity of the empire. Writing and literature. The Sumerians were the first civilization to develop a system of writing, known as cuneiform. This system used a stylus to make wedge-shaped marks on clay tablets, which were then dried and used for record-keeping and communication. The Sumerians also developed a rich tradition of literature, with stories and myths passed down through the generations. One of the most famous works of Sumerian literature is the Epic of Gilgamesh, which tells the story of a legendary king who searches for the secret of immortality. Technology. The Sumerians were known for their advanced technology, including irrigation systems, which allowed them to grow crops in areas with little rainfall. They built canals to bring water from rivers and streams to their fields, and used irrigation ditches to distribute the water. This allowed them to produce surplus food, which supported a growing population and allowed the development of specialized professions and trade. The Sumerians also developed a range of other technologies, including wheeled vehicles, plows, and metalworking. They were skilled in the production of pottery, textiles, and jewelry, which were traded throughout the empire and beyond. Government and politics. The Sumerian Empire was ruled by a king, who held absolute power over the empire. The king was assisted by a council of advisors, who helped to administer the empire and make decisions about policy and governance. The empire was divided into city-states, each with its own king and council of advisors. The city-states were often in competition with each other, but also formed alliances and traded with one another. The city-states were ruled by a hierarchy of officials, including priests, judges, and administrators, who helped to maintain order and enforce laws.